Hey guys, my name is Libby and I want to welcome you to my new page, Wreath Works by Libby. In this group, I'm just going to share my journey with you with me making wreaths. I've been making wreaths for about 6 years now. I'm self-taught. I learned by watching people on Facebook and YouTube and all the things online, stuff like that. And I'm going to start off with this first episode with asking you one question. What do you know about making wreaths? When I first started, I knew nothing. I was actually working as a stalker at Dollar Tree, and you know that they have the frames and they have mesh and ribbon and all that. Well, I was stocking some mesh and I noticed that they had directions on the package of how to make a wreath. So I bought some and I made a wreath. It was horrible. But I kept practicing and realized later on that most of my problem was using Dollar Tree mesh. So I don't use that no more. I buy my stuff. I still buy the frames from Dollar Tree. I buy some attachments and stuff like that, but for the real quality wreaths, you need to invest a little bit more in your mesh. It just comes out a whole lot better. I made my first one for, I think it was Thanksgiving or Halloween, and a year later I was still making them and I was so much better at it. So it's not difficult. You can do it, and I'm going to show you what you need to do. I am not an expert by no means. I'm just going to show you what I do. And what I do, I start with a Dollar Tree frame, and this one is a 14-inch frame. You can use any frame you want. And my biggest thing was how to decide what I wanted to do, what kind of wreath I wanted to make. So I narrowed it down to this. Decide on what kind of wreath you want to make, like Christmas, Valentine's, summer, every day, and find a focal point, whether it be a piece of ribbon that you want to use or an attachment. And so today I've got this sign. I think I got this at Craft Outlet a couple years ago, but I'm going to use this. It's the MDF wood sign, and this is my focal point. And as you see, it is about the same width as this wreath frame, but the mesh, after the mesh is on, it's going to be much wider. Then you have to pick out mesh that you want to use. I like to use some that kind of match, but it's not going to drown this out. So I've got this lime green here that I'm going to use. Since the lime green is only in the middle here, it's not going to be up against the green. So there will be some border between it. And I also have some of this that I may throw in there. Not sure yet. And this is the ribbons that I've chose. I've got some pink, some green plaid, some all different color plaid. I don't know if you can see. It's got the aqua and the green and the hot pink. And then I got this, and this has the black and white dots on the side, and the black is going to make all the other colors pop. So that's what I'm going to use. And bear with me because I have to move the camera to get y'all a good angle, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start with our frame, our 14-inch frame from Dollar Tree. And I've got some pipe cleaners here that match my mesh. And I'm going to take my tag off. And I'm going to take these pipe cleaners and I'm going to put one on the 2 innermost rings right there around that bracket right there. And I'm going to go around and put one at every bracket on the first and second rings. So that will give us 6 on the inside. And when you're done with all of your pipe cleaners, we'll have a total of 18 around the whole wreath. And they don't have to be perfectly even or anything, just as long as you got a good amount on each side to twist the mesh on there. So if y'all don't mind, please like and subscribe to my channel, share, all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. Okay, now I'm gonna go in on the bottom 2, and I'm gonna put 2 down here. I'm gonna put 1 here and 1 here on the bottom 2 rings. And once you start doing wreaths, y'all are just gonna, y'all may already do wreaths and know, but you become addicted to the ribbon and the mesh and all the things. Okay, so that's how it looks. I've got 1 on the bracket, and then I come down and do 2 spaced out on the bottom 2 rings, and then I've got another one at the bracket. So I'm gonna go around and do the rest of them. Okay, so I have it all done, and this is what it looks like. I've got 18 twists. I've got 12 on the outside, 6 on the inside. And now it's time to cut the mesh. Okay, so we're going to cut the mesh. I've got this handy dandy little mesh holder here that my husband made for me. Let me just get the roll out. And this was a 10 by 10 roll, but I've used a little bit of it. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use both of them. And this here is a 10 by 10, but it's thinner mesh than what this mesh is. This here is a metallic stripe, and I believe I got this from Hobby Lobby. But I'm going to cut these at 20 inches long. I'm going to start by cutting this rough edge off. Measure out 20 inches and set that aside. And I'm going to do 9 of each. Y'all tell me in the comments if you're new to wreath making, or if you've been doing it a while. I literally have watched just about everybody on YouTube, so I know there's all different kinds of techniques and styles, but I just do it the way that I do it, and I like how they turn out. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, count. But I find it very relaxing to just come out here in my little she shed, which my she shed my husband just built for me this year, so that was nice of him. Okay, change this out and put the other roll in and cut 9 of those. And you can see the difference in the thickness of these 2 meshes. So see how this here is a lot thicker. A lot thicker. And mesh sticks to everything. So start off by cutting this raw edge. And if you're new, having one of these mats and one of these rotary cutters really help a lot. This mat has seen better days. I need a new one, but I'll use it until I can't use it no more. Now, if this mesh here is too thin and I don't like the way it looks, then we may do something different. And again, I'm cutting these at 20 inches long. And this is a 10-inch mesh. I need to cut 9 of each color. 2, 4, 6, 7. 8. And if y'all would be interested in me doing lives, comment that too, and I'll see if there's enough interest, then I may do that. But this is a new thing for me on YouTube, so it's kind of out of my comfort zone. So y'all bear with me through all this. Okay, now let me move this out of your way so you can see. Okay. And I know there's all kinds of ways to do your mesh. Most people do cruffles. That's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the end and I'm going to roll it under about twice, like so. And I always put it with the curl side down. It just makes it easier to roll up for me. If you rather do it the other way, do it the other way. There's no right or wrong way to do this, to do these wreaths. Find a way that's comfortable for you and do it that way. This is just the easiest way I found to do it. I take and roll it up on the ends about twice, and I find the middle, and I just scrunch and pull it to me, and I save enough at the end for it to roll under about twice, and then I just pinch it together. And you get like this little bow tie, butterfly top shape. And then you take it and put it in your zip tie. You can put it fold side up or fold side down. It doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. I'm putting it fold side down. That's just how I do it. It's just easier. It's quicker. I scrunch it up that way. So when I pick it up, it's already that way, and I just place it in the zip tie. And then you want to twist it on 2 or 3 times so it'll stay. And you have one piece of mesh. Now I'm going to alternate to this color. And I'm going to go every other one. Unless I don't like it. If it's too thin, we're going to do something different. So I take it and I roll it under twice. Find the middle, scrunch it, leaving enough on the end to roll it twice again. Scrunch it, and you get a little butterfly bow tie shape. Come to your zip tie, or not your zip tie, Lord, your pipe cleaner, and you find the middle and you put it in and twist it, and then you have two. Now I'm going to put on one more green one just to see if that's going to make that thick enough where you can't see through it, because this is a light colored mesh and you don't want to be able to see the frame through there. So I'm going to do one more green one, flop it out, roll it under twice, find the middle, scrunch it, leave enough on this end to roll under twice. It'll quit hanging on my sweater, and then you just scrunch it, zip tie, zip tie. Pipe cleaner in the middle, make it tight, wrap it around 2 or 3 times, and now you have 3. And since we're going to have kind of dark color ribbons on there, I'm just going to go ahead and go with what I have here, and we're not going to change it. We're just going to do it. And I'm just going to try and do it fast, so I don't take up y'all's whole day. And then we'll see what we come up with. Roll, roll, scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Roll, roll. And just put it in the zip tie. Smash it down tight and twist. I would turn the radio on for y'all, but YouTube frowns upon stuff like that. I don't know if YouTube does, but the owners of the songs do. So, okay. I wish I had some darker pink, but I don't. So. Okay, this is what we're looking like. I'm dropping pieces everywhere. Let me move these over here. I'm going to drop one on the floor. So y'all can see. Roll, roll. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Roll, roll. Scrunch, scrunch. I'm so glad Christmas is over with. It's always a crazy time for everybody. And sometimes it feels like some people just lose their mind at Christmas. The way the stores are so packed. It's crazy. Okay, and we're just going to continue on. Roll, roll, scrunch. Roll, roll, scrunch. almost done with the outside rings. I've got 2 more on the bottom. Outside, bottom, whatever you want to call it. Roll, roll, scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Roll, roll, scrunch it on it. Okay, last one on this row. Roll, roll. Maybe it's not wanting to roll. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Roll, roll. And as you're going around, you kind of want to stand your ends up so they're fluffed out. But of course, you're going to want to do that at the very end of making the wreath also. Okay, now we're going to work on the inside ones. We only have 6 on the inside. And we're just going to do the same thing. Just alternate colors until you're all the way around. Flop it down, roll, roll, scrunch, scrunch, roll, roll, and finish scrunching. And twist it off in the twist tie. Pop clean it. I'll get it right before long, y'all, maybe. Okay, I opened up my twist tie here, so it's waiting for me when I get my mesh ready. Roll, roll, scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Roll, roll, and finish scrunching. Oh, I bet I don't wear this sweater next time. It's snagging everything. Okay. Flop it out. Roll, roll. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Roll, roll. Scrunch, scrunch. And did you notice that when I got done scrunching it, my hand was already on it? I just picked it straight up and come straight to the wreath. There ain't nothing special in between there. It's just one swift movement. Now, if you wanted to flip it over and use the other side, then you would have to flip it over, change hands, then put it in there. I ain't got time for all that. Roll, roll, scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Roll, roll. One swift movement. And the less you fuss with mesh, the less frays you get. But you're going to have frays. Going to have them. It don't matter what kind of mesh you use, how expensive it is, anything. You're going to have them. Okay, this is the last one. Some people use spray stuff on their wreaths to help stop from fraying. I don't. Never used anything sprayed on my wreaths. Okay. So this is what we have. I think it'll be okay after we get the sign on there. And the bows and the ribbon. I think it's going to be cute. Okay. Now, we have to make ribbon tails and a bow. I think I'm going to make the bow first. got me a easy bow maker. They're a lifesaver. It took me a long time to learn how to make a bow. I actually didn't learn and like the bows that I was putting out until I got this. So, everybody makes bows different. There is no right and wrong way to make a bow either. You make them however you make them, and if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. That's just, it's that easy. You make tails and loops, and there is just one rule, and that is you have to flip the ribbon. But I'm going to make this bow. I'm going to have 12-inch tails, so I'm going to measure it out, bring it, and I'm going to flip it. Have the good side up as my tail coming down, and this side that's going to make the loop has the ugly side is up, and I'm going to measure out to 6 inches, and there is a ruler on this easy bow maker, so it makes it really easy to measure them out. I'm going to make this about 6.5 inches, and I'm going to bring this down in between the two rods here, and I'm going to twist it. So there's good side up, then over here it's the bad side up. And I'm going to do another 6.5 inch bow on this side. This time I'm not going to twist, because this is the end of this ribbon that I'm going to use. I'm going to measure out about 8 inches and cut it and bring this one up. So we have a cross. There's one down, two out to the side. The loops are out to the side, and one tail up and one tail down. The shorter tail I'm putting on the top. It's 8 inches. The one on the bottom is 12 inches. The loops are 6.5. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with this green check ribbon. And I'm going to start with the top tail, and it's going to be 8 inches. About 8 inches. And I'm going to twist it. The good side is the tail, it's facing up. And I've brought it to the top. And I'm going to make a loop. This time it's going to be about 6 inches. The last loops were 6.5. These are 6, slightly smaller. And I'm going to twist it here in the middle and bring this loop over here to 6. And I'm not going to twist it this time, because I'm going to have my tail. And I'm going to come down here and measure how long this tail is, and I'm going to cut it even, or close to even. It don't have to be perfect. Okay. Now, let's do this one. Use this plaid ribbon. This is a 1.5 inch. Both of these here are 2 inches. So, just kind of fix my bow a little bit. Have the X's going on. Okay. This one, I'm going to come down, measure my tail, twist. These loops are going to be about 5.5. Come back to the middle and twist. 5.5 on this side. Don't twist. And we're going to make a tail. Come up to the top. And now we have another cross. Y'all can see that. have this pink ribbon here. I'm debating on whether I want to change it for something else. I think I'm going to go with, no, I'm going to change it. Hold on. This is what happens when you try and create. I've got these three. This is a teal, 1.5 solid. This is the bright green, lime green, and it's got some print on there. It's very faint, but it's there. So I might use that. And I have this hot pink right there. But I'm thinking I'm gonna go back in with this teal to bring out the dots on the sign. See how all the ribbons match the sign? That's what I'm going for. Oh yeah. Okay. So this time we're gonna start up here, measure out 8 inches. Top loop, twist in the middle, come back in. Last one was 5, so this one I'm going to put about 4.5. Twist in the middle, 4.5 on this side. Don't twist, and then down with the tail. Now these tails may not stay this length, but this is like the standard go-to bow that I do, because if they need to be shorter, I can always trim them up. Okay, now the 1.5 green. I'll start on this side this time with the top ribbon. Measure out 8 inches, come in, twist. Twisted the wrong way. Okay, twist. And these I'm going to make about 4 inches. Twist in the middle. Each loop gets smaller and smaller. You decide on how big you want it. So I can't give you exact measurements for your bow. You're going to have to do that yourself. And then I cut them about even. All the bottom tails I cut about the same length, so I can trim them up however I want to do it at the end. Okay, and then I think I'm going to come back in with this plaid one to go on top as the center one. And go up, measure the tail out, twist, make one loop, and this one's going to be about 3. Don't twist, because we're only making one loop of this. And then I'm going to come down and cut it with the other tails. Okay. I use zip ties for my bows. Some people use wires, which you can. You can use pipe cleaners. You can use cable ties. You can use ribbon, rope, whatever will hold your bow tight together. I'm not one to judge. I don't care what you use. I use zip ties. I take a zip tie and I run it right underneath all the ribbon, right beside these poles. Take it to the middle and I pull it together and I hold my finger right there underneath that zip tie and I pull it tight, leaving my finger in there, and then I lift it up and it's still tight on there. It's still tight on there. Them ribbons ain't moving. And then I take my 2 fingers and I put one on the back and one on the top. And I put my thumb on this side of the zip tie and I pull my finger out. Now it's tight. I'm holding it tight, and I can take this zip tie and pull it around to the back. Now flip it over, and I take another zip tie and run right under there. And this is what we'll use to attach to the wreath. And I pull it snug, but not tight. And I fluff my bows out, my loops, get them all open up and paying attention. Make sure my tails are in the right direction. And then I pull it tight. And I mean tight. As tight as you can get it. And then you're going to take and snip off that middle section that's standing up. You're just going to snip it off. Now you can really fluff your bow. And get it looking exactly how you want it to look. And this is what makes it come to life. In that middle section there, that one single loop, it hides the zip tie. So you can't see it no more. Okay, now you're going to come in and dovetail your ribbon. You take and fold the ribbon on top of itself. You line up the edges. You come down about, I don't know, how far is that? About an inch. And you cut up diagonally to the point. Just like that. And you open it up. And you have a dovetail. Easy peasy. And you do that on all of them. I would say there is some ribbon out there that dovetails just don't work on. Sheer ribbon, I cut them just at an angle and it works just fine. But if I ever try to dovetail it, it wants to come apart on me and unravel and all that stuff. So I just cut those at an angle. And cheaper ribbon, it likes to fray at the ends. So you may want to do that the same way. Like this here is a real thin linen, and it's probably going to fray at the edges. But I'm going to dovetail it anyway, just to see, because I haven't used this ribbon in a long time, and I can't remember. But if it starts fraying, I'll cut it a different way. Or I'll add something on the end, some Mod Podge or something, so it won't do that. Okay, and you want to come up and do the top ones. Now with the top ones, sometimes they're taller than the actual bow is, the loops are. I don't like them too crazy long on the top. So I'll make them come down to about the same length as the loop. See how that's taller than the loop? But it's not, it's about the same, well, it's still taller than the longest loop. So I'm going to cut that down just a little bit more, because I don't like them all waving at everybody. I just like them to look cute. So I'm just going to trim these up just a little bit. But if you like them waving at everybody, you cut them as long as you want. Doesn't matter to me at all how you do yours. Okay, now I'm just going to take my finger and rub behind each one to give it a little shush in the right direction. Even the ones on the bottom, give them a little shush. And when I'm doing this, I'm also checking to make sure I got every one of them, so they all have a little dovetail. And there's your bow. What do you think? Okay. Now, put my bow maker back. All this ribbon back over here out the way. Put my bow over here out of the way. Okay, now we need to decide which ones we want for ribbon tails. Ribbon tails are going to go in all these twist ties on top of the mesh. Now with the bow on there, you may not need 18. But we're going to cut 18 today, just for y'all. So we want to see how we want this to go. I think I want it to go just like this with the bow at the bottom. So we won't need a ribbon tail there where the bow goes. So we'll cut 8 on one and 7 on the other. I need to decide which ones I want. I know I want this one and the blue. I wonder if I could get 18 out of all this. Decisions. See, I didn't want to use a lot of green on there because it's already green. So, okay. We're going to do these two. Now, you may not have one of these. They sell these online at other places. My husband made this for me. All it is it's a piece of flat wood, real thin. I think it's like 1/8 of, I don't even know. It's super thin. And it's cut at 12 inches. I've got one at 13 and 14. But I'm going to use 12 inches on this one. And what you do is you line the ribbon up at the end. And then you just roll it. And I'm going to do 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you cut it. And I like to cut it while it's still on here. I just take my scissors and run up under all the ribbon all the way to the end and cut. And then I know it's a straight line. And I have 9 ribbon tails. And then I'm going to do the same with the 1.5 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And cut it. Take my scissors in there underneath and cut it. And it cuts all the way through. Go to the other side, cut it. And I have 9 ribbon tails. Now we have to dovetail these. You take a few at a time, stack them up. They should already be stacked from where you cut them. Fold them in half. And go about an inch up on the folded side and cut diagonally up to the corner. And you get a ribbon tail, a dovetail. And you do that on both ends. They don't have to be perfectly aligned because you're going to cut the end off. But they do need to be close. Fold, cut outside to edge. And there you have it. Uh-oh, it's starting to rain. You may hear it. I got a tin roof. Okay. Fold outside to edge. And look, sometimes these, one side's longer than the other. It don't matter. They don't have to be perfect. Nobody cares but you. And if they do care, fix it. But nobody's going to pay that close of attention to it, in my experience. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the blue ones. Just take a few, I'll take about half of them, fold it in half, about an inch down, outside edge up to corner. And you open it up and you got a dovetail. Dovetail. Okay, so that's only half of what I need. I don't want to use green. So let me just do these ones first and then we'll see. You take one of each. I'm going to put the 2.5 inch on the bottom, the 1.5 inch on the top, get them lined up. You find the middle, scrunch it together like so. You take it to the pipe cleaner and twist it in. And then you spread them out. I like to spread mine where the same two colors aren't beside each other. Like so. And I'm going to do these in every other one because I'm not sure what I want to do with the other ones yet. I may do a different kind of twist in the middle to the pipe cleaner, twist it down tight, and then spread. Like so. And y'all, I plan to do one of these once a week. And I'd love for y'all to join me. Come hang out. If y'all have any questions, comments, whatever, be checking on that on a regular basis, so I will comment all I can. I plan on opening an Etsy shop the 1st of January, so y'all can be looking forward to that. I do have my Facebook link posted on here, I believe, so y'all can go check me out on Facebook as well. I don't do lives or videos, I just show my wreaths on there. That's it. But you can contact me through Facebook or my email address, whichever. Almost done with this side. And I'm putting these in the light pink color mesh, because the green is just thicker and the pink needs more coverage, so that's why I'm putting the ribbons in there. So I'm not sure about the others. I always change my mind about things when I get going on a wreath, because honestly, y'all, I wasn't going to do a wreath today. I was just going to come out here and do an introduction for y'all, and that was it. And then I was like, no, let's just go ahead and jump in. So that's what I did. I'm just going around putting these ribbon tails in. And now we're moving on to the top layer. And it's the same process. I'm just going every other one. If you had all 18 tails, then you'd be doing every pot cleaner. But I'm not sure if I want to do 18 or if I want to do something else in the other ones. So okay, one more. Didn't separate those. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And let's see. I don't know if I want to use that or not. I don't. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and make little bows, like one loop bows, to put in the other little places. No, I don't like that neither. Oh me. I don't have any other ribbon. Sure I do. I got this hot pink there. We'll use it. Good gracious, how much. Gosh, they had a lot of that on there. Okay, so we're going to use this. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to use this 1.5 inch checkered, hot pink checkered, and that 1.5 inch teal. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this time, we're going to put the hot pink on the bottom and the teal on the top. So it's kind of opposite of the other ribbon tails. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gonna be close. 8, 9. Cut it. Just line them up and cut them. And the more you do this, the more you get used to it and the easier it gets. Some things now just come second nature to me. I still have issues with like what all I want to put on the same wreath, like the attachments or flowers and all that. But I'm getting better. It's only been 6 years, so I mean. I'll do okay, I guess. And you will too. You'll do fine. I mean, it's not rocket science. If you have common sense, you can do this. Almost done with this. Maybe I should do live so I'll have somebody to talk to while I'm doing this instead of myself. Y'all can keep me company that way. It's a thick wire in this, y'all. Okay. Now, what'd I say? Hot pink on the bottom, teal on the top. Find the middle, scrunch it together, stick it in the pipe cleaner. And spread them apart. Oh yeah. Like so. And these are going in all the green ones. That is a bright pink too, y'all. And this wreath is going to measure probably 24 by 24, or real close to that. Did I do that one backwards? Yeah. You want to make sure these are in there tight. Give them that 2 or 3 twists. After we get these in, we'll be almost done. Then all we have to do is put the sign on and the bow on, and that is it. Now some people say to come and cut the pipe cleaner. Y'all, I'm having trouble with that word today. To come and cut the pipe cleaners off after you're done putting the ribbon tails in there. You can, you don't have to. I mean, these are the same color as the mesh, so in my opinion, it just adds to it. Okay, that's all for the bottom layer. Now we're moving on to the top. Let's find it, tuck it in, twist it, and then spread them ribbon tails. Okay, last one. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Now, we're going to attempt to put our sign on. Take and cut the ribbon, the string off. You can save it or don't. I do sometimes, sometimes I don't. Now for this, I am going to use pipe cleaners. And I'm going to use, let's see, figure out where I want my sign to go. And I think I want it to go about right in the middle, a little bit higher than the middle, maybe. So I'm going to use 4. And y'all, my staples are a little big, so I've got to take and put cardboard underneath it so it doesn't go through the sign. And I think I'm just going to do, I think I'm going to do 3. Do 1 on each side and then 1 in the bottom in the middle. Yep. So I'm going to take this piece of cardboard and I'm going to fold it over. Grab my staple gun get my pipe cleaner and lay it down there. Get it about where I want it. And I'm going to try and get the staple to go right on top of it. Like so. No, that one didn't stick. That one didn't stick. Now, I don't know about these staples. My husband and me going to have to fight or something. Maybe if I just use one piece of cardboard, not doubled over. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, and it did not go through the sign, so that's good. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to twist this over top of that staple. And we'll come down here and do the same thing. Put my little piece of cardboard down, my pipe cleaner down. I'm going to staple it right over top of that so that staple will grab hold of that. And the staples do not come through. Take and twist that. Do the same thing right here. Make that small. Now nobody's going to see this because it's going to be on the mesh. So I mean, don't sweat that it's a little piece of cardboard there. Like I said, nobody cares because they can't see it. Okay, now I got 3 contact points. Now I'm going to find where I want it on the sign. And I try and find the top 2 to be, I'm going to try and put them on these bracket points right here. That's where I'm going to try to attach them at, on the cross brackets. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, but that's what I'm aiming for. I just got to look down in the mesh and find it. And I want to bring in pipe cleaners, one on each side of that bracket, so my sign can't slide down. And you don't have to mash it, but you do want it tight. You want to kind of make sure it's sitting where you want it sitting. Okay. And then you just twist it. And I didn't twist it tight because I wasn't sure about this other side yet. Okay. This other side is right here. Okay. I'm going to twist it around. It's not super duper tight yet because I got to get the bottom piece. The bottom piece I'm going to attach to actually need to add some of this. I'm going to add this to one side. I'm just going to twist it together so it's long enough to reach that bottom frame. And I'm going to take it straight down to the bottom, wrap it around that frame, and then twist the 2 ends together. You don't really need the bottom one. It just keeps it from flopping around, so the bottom one don't have to be super tight. It just needs, it's just there for extra support. Okay, now I'm going to come back up here and see how that's, I don't know if you can tell, it's sunk in at the top. I'm going to fix it since it's just loosely tied up here, I'm gonna make it where it's a little bit straighter and not so sunk in. Sometimes you've got to adjust your mesh and stuff because it acts crazy. Okay, I think it's good. I'm going to tighten it up. And while I'm back here, I'm just going to tuck them pipe cleaners right on in so they're not sticking out. Okay. Now that one's hanging. You know, something would always mess me up on a day that I'm trying to impress people. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap that around that frame so I'll hold it tight, maybe, hopefully. I think I shook it too hard. Okay, now that's what it looks like. It's still in a little bit, but after I go back around and fluff out the mesh and stuff, it might look better. Okay, now the bow, we're going to take this zip tie and we're going to attach it right to the frame. And I'm aiming for right in the middle at the bottom. And you want to pull it not real tight because your bow will sink down inside this mesh. So you just want it tight. And I put it on a crossbar so it can't slide side to side. And yeah, I think that's, yeah, okay. Then you cut the end of it off. And that's your wreath. Just right there. And that's it, guys. Of course, you have to fluff your bow out. But since we pre-fluffed it, there ain't a whole lot of fluffing to do. I think some wreath makers, I think they just like fluffing bows, so they just keep fluffing and fluffing and fluffing and fluffing and fluffing. It don't do it for me, so I'd rather see the end product. And see, these tails don't hang too far down, so I'm not going to trim them unless somebody wants the wreath, and I'll ask them if they want them shorter. If so, then I'll cut them. But I leave that up to the customer, not to me. So it's an option if they want it done. And that's it, guys. That's my welcome spring wreath. And I thank you for coming to hang out with me. And I hope you come back again and again and again, and we can make plenty of projects together. If there's certain things you would like to know, like about where to buy ribbon or how to match ribbon to a project or tools you may need, any of that stuff, if you want me to do a video about it, please leave it in the comments and I will get on it, because I don't know what y'all want. So I am open to any suggestions and feedback. So thank you, and I will see you next time.